when there's no
how's it going, guys?
What's up?
Maybe like a red on-air light. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that way, when people walk up into this room, you know, like
that'll stop anybody.
yeah,
that'll make them come.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 36 of our On Target Talks. Today we're going to be I was talking about last time we
What did you say?
6 squared.
moving on. Today we're going to talk a lot about like we've all been to a lot of games now. We've seen a lot of game elements, and this is both skirmish level, indoor stuff like that, all the way up to national Wilson events. We've seen a lot of cool stuff put into these game elements, from rules to scenarios to just elements like vehicles.
All cool stuff.
We'll talk a lot about the stuff we like, things that maybe need some tweaking.
Repelling from buildings, paying $100.
Yeah, pay $100 extra that would be so much fun. But I think my Dan's
Sorry, I'm trying to post on social media. That's hard because.
Oh yeah, loud noises. Anyway, so before we get started though, as always, we're going to do our announcements. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple months, especially the holiday season approaching real fast. Don't forget to get your presents for your people. But I'm going to let James take the announcements.
Extreme special orders. Heck yeah. So a few announcements. We do have Columbus Day Gaming. That is on Columbus Day, as you would have assumed. That is going to be.
He was telling me earlier he was brainstorming in his brain.
Yes.
I'm really glad you made that clarification. I was worried it was his foot.
Yeah, no, I said yeah. So I was brainstorming with my brain about ideas for this podcast. Well, no, so that's October 9th. If that's Columbus Day, right? That should be on the calendar. Well, yes, it's Columbus Day Gaming. Yep. Okay.
Good job.
Columbus Day 2017.
Wow, guys, we're just blowing it.
This is a you thing, dog.
No, I'm blowing it. Yes. I don't know if you guys saw the recent South Park episode about Columbus Day. That was actually kind of funny.
I did not.
No.
It was pretty funny. But even still, so announcements. So aside from Columbus Day, we do have Pistol Shotgun Night coming up. That is going to be actually on the third Friday this month, which is something that
what we normally do.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, but as
last month it didn't happen.
Last month we had a lot of stuff going on. So we got Pistol Shotgun Night, Columbus Day Gaming, as well as Off Transylvanian Terror, which is going to be a ton of fun. Dan and Isaiah are spearheading that.
Yay!
It's going to be really cool. Pre-registration is live on our website. We've already had people signing up. I think that the comic book heroes is filling up a bit faster last time.
Probably.
We need some villains. I know you're out there.
Exactly. Though.
Guys, I'm running I'm Dracula for this event, dog. Like, you gotta be on my side, and if you're not,
I really need Isaiah to go, I'm Batman.
all day. I think all day is just gonna progressively get worse. At the end, at the end of the day, it's just like no voice.
But yeah, so we have that. That's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure that you stay updated. If you don't already have us, make sure that you have it set so that we get notifications every time that we post. You can do that by going to under like to make sure that we're following, and then notifications all on. So that's another good one to get as many updates as you can possibly get from us regarding that. Other than that, as well as the Adult Night, that is going to be once again on the 3rd of this month. That's from 6 to 9. We had a ton of players last week, right? Saturday.
We had a decent number of. We had a decent turnout, 25 players or so at least.
A lot of them played. I heard a lot of them played all day, right?
Oh yeah, there were like half of the people. There was a small group that didn't know. Like they were like, "Oh, you're staying for Adult Night." Half the group was like, "Yeah," and the other half was like, "Wait, what's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's 18 plus from 6 to midnight." They were like, "What? Are we paying $35 for that? What?" Their minds were blown.
And as a note, guys, as always with our upcoming events, it's very simple. Just go to our Facebook page, come down to events, and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see everything listed. Columbus Day might not be listed because these guys are fools. Either way, you'll see all of our upcoming stuff, and you'll even, if you look here,
you'll see our schedule post. So if you can't figure out when the third Friday and Saturday of each month are, now you know.
It's true. True.
They'll still be asking. They're like, well, when?
But, like I said, always a good way to chat. Yeah, back to Adult Night actually real quick. I want to talk about that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. I had something come up last minute. But I heard you did some shooting and then you stopped doing some shooting. But how was it before you left?
So I didn't even get to play
You
in
didn't
it.
stick around.
No, I just couldn't get the PTW to shoot consistently.
No.
Which is a surprise to
I
all of us
told
here.
you that. You just said that so you
know.
could get me to say
I think that we're all surprised by what's going on right here.
Mean man.
He's
I
gotta do
don't
it.
think the mic picked that up. That one.
You are literally.
Yes, so Des got it out of me. I couldn't get the PTW to work, so I sent an email out to Z-Shot asking for some new brushes. So hopefully that'll remedy this issue. Hopefully.
Yeah, but that $260 cylinder didn't.
I mean, I knew that.
Maybe you
wasn't
should
the
just get
issue
some
at
more
all.
twigs, and then that'll be good for you.
Yeah,
Exactly. It was indoors. It wasn't enough.
There was not enough natural foliage on the ground you could pick up and shove in his gun. It's like, I can't get enough
Great
beacons
gun.
to stay together.
It's a fantastic gun.
Stop. You
Extreme
can't even-
tech tips here for you.
Yeah, extreme tech tics.
What?
I said tech tips.
You said tech tips.
Tech tics. It's all good.
Tap tick
A little bit of
ticks.
water.
The tactics is.
But let's move on to our actual.
Continue.
Yeah, anyways.
That was something to say.
No, I just got a little water down the wrong pipe, you know what I'm saying?
You
Come on, say it.
You should learn to swallow better. I heard you say a lot.
I need more practice. The jokes take themselves away at this point.
Damn, son. Okay, we're here. We've arrived. Our destiny.
Yeah, this is a great cast so far. I don't know about you guys.
So, all right. Today's topic. I want to talk about those plate carrier things a little bit, but we'll get to that.
Yes, let's go over those.
Me and James have a big disagreement about this thing, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay, we'll get to later.
So stay tuned for that. But all right, so like I said, we've been to a lot of games. Let's start on like the kind of like the rules side of things. We've definitely seen some really cool rules elements in other games that
Yes.
event runners should pick up. We've also definitely run across some.
A couple rules that should either be changed or not there in the first place.
Right. So let's start with positives. What's something that really struck you as like, wow, this is a great way to do this? Not necessarily like vehicles, no, but like, you know, maybe Ensado or IROPS or someone does something a little differently where you're like, that's the way to do it.
I love personally the Ensado medic rule.
You know, it's funny,
I was gonna say
That's
that
a
too.
really, because that's something, yeah.
no, I'll let you finish. I was just saying, I was going to bring that up as something that might need modification. I'll let you go.
So going from Stag Ops was like, that was pretty much the amount that I had played. I had played a bunch of Stag Ops games, and it's like, okay, it's cool. It's kind of irritating when you have to wipe out a whole squad, and then there's one dude, and then suddenly the entire squad's back up with you. So the area's like, you thought it was clear, but it's not. Like, so then the MSATA rule, which is if you get shot, minimum, no matter what happens, you have a minimum to wait 5 minutes before you can even be met. After that 5 minutes, you can return to your medic, but once you return to your medic, you have to wait another 5 minutes before you can be medic back in. As has been said before, like the 5-minute rule, the 5-minute bleed out time, as I call it, just makes it so much easier if you have to, it makes the flow kind of better because then you have just a bunch of dead guys and they're not like, you're not in a build, trying to get into a building. You're not shooting guys in the dark. They get medic back up and then you're getting shot at
Or
again.
a classic, somebody sticking their leg behind you.
Exactly. Not only that, their leg disappears, your medic back up. Suddenly he has his gun pointed at you. It allows gameplay to like move and there actually to be like.
Maybe I'll get it confirmed. This guy's dead. I can move past him. Not this guy's dead. I have to wait for medic to run over a medic and then shoot him again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like you
it's
know
not,
that.
exactly. It's not like Stag Ops. Like I do like their medic rule, but you know, contrary to, or I guess, kind of the opposite of what the Amsato thing is, like, you can have medic be on cover and just keep spamming medic bans on this guy until he's back up. And that's why I was going to bring up one of the medic rules that I do like is the Amsato rule.
Yeah,
it's like you said, it, you know, when a guy's down, he's down.
Yeah, exactly. And then no one's, when he is hit, he's not a priority for the medic, so there kind of removes the whole, now I have to wait for a medic to come get him. It's like, is he going to get grabbed by somebody else? We don't know, but you don't count on that.
So to clarify the rule, it was, you had your 5-minute bleed out before you could
5-minute bleed out.
And then the medic you, and then you were back in after 5 more minutes, right?
No. So first 5 minutes, it's bleed out, you're dead. After that 5 minutes, you can be medic back in. If you're not medic within that 5 minutes, so 10 minutes now, 5 minutes bleed out, 5 minutes time you can't.
I think you're using
it's a 5-minute
bleed out term is a little confusing. What do you? Well, just to clarify on it, when you're hit, you are out of the game for 5 minutes, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
After that 5 minutes is up, you are now able to be medic.
Okay.
And then once your first 5 minutes is up, you have an additional 5-minute window to get medic. If you are dead for the entirety of 10 minutes, those 2 5-minute windows, you are dead. You are a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
you can go back to your medic. You can be with your squad, and then you have to wait 5 minutes.
No, so you go back to your medic. Your medic has to.
You can go back to your medic. You can.
Really?
It's pretty much it's similar to ghosting. You can be within the distance of your squad, but then you have to wait another 5 minutes before you can be medic. So the most you'll be waiting is 15 minutes to be back.
Okay. And are you instantly back in when you're medic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing I like, I think it kind of splits the difference, is the Milson West tourniquet rule. It's believable when someone is down to take 3 minutes to put a tourniquet on someone, and that would feasibly, effectively get them back into the game, assuming it was a minor combat wound like IRL. And I think that's very fair, because at that point it's just how good is your medic? How good can your medic get you back into the game?
Make it a task.
Exactly.
To get done.
Exactly, and that way you don't just take your most scrub player and you give him the medic rule because we'd rather have
Well,
that.
that's another thing I like about the Amsato is the whole knot thing.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I like that a little bit better than the bands because you
Even though you can tie a knot intelligently, where you just
slip knot.
Exactly. That's pretty much what you do. You just have to have a knot, so then you're just like, boom, you're done, and then you can donate knots to other people. But I like that you just have a minimum. You have 3 lives, and that's all you have. After your medic twice, that's it, unless somebody comes in and they have extra knots that they can give to you. I kind of like that because then it limits how somebody can be medic.
Right? No, I agree with that. Again, so the one guy will just get spammed.
Exactly. So then suddenly his entire arm is just covered in cut off socks, and you're just like, "What's good, Fry? Fry."
Now, on the same token, that medic rule certainly adds a lot more complexity to the game.
That too, yeah. Because then
you
people
really
are
have
like,
to trust people to be honorable about it.
Right,
Because 5 minutes becomes it's been about 5 minutes, but 90 seconds, that's like 5 minutes.
yeah.
At least the Stag Ops one, to be fair here, was super simple.
Yeah.
Clear as day. So I wish there was a way, I'm not even sure what I would suggest, I wish there was a way to simplify the stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's...
Like I said, again, it will only be in addition to what James was talking about, with the medic has to do a task.
Yeah, so maybe they have to...
Maybe 3 different bleed out.
Milson, American Milson you have to tie an entire ace bandage, wrap it around their body. It doesn't really matter where, but you have to take the time to do that and either tie it off, or if it's one of those adhesive ones, stick it or clip it. One of those things, and that's a little bit shorter, time-wise, than a tourniquet play. It's still, it's still a task.
It's still a little more of a simulating thing than just undoing a knot.
See, one thing I've considered while being dead with a red rag for a lot of games is rather than right, rather than there being a medic position, there should be something like a medic. Like you have, yes, I understand in the real world medics are trained, but any soldier knows how to address a wound and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think there should be almost like a heavy, medic case.
A syringe with
No, but it should be a
you gotta
case.
stick him at the right spot.
it should be a case that holds all your medic stuff, and which is just bandages, like you were saying, like trying to just. But you can't medic someone unless you have that case.
Okay.
So rather than everyone just carrying their medic stuff on them, like you have to have your medic supplies, and it doesn't necessarily be stuck with one person. Is my point. Like that way, if the medic goes down, you're not effed. You can say, okay, I'm taking.
Yeah, exactly. I hear what you're saying, because at American Milsim or Milsim West, you carry the tourniquet or you carry that bandage.
You carry that all on your person.
But that rule is kind of similar when you're talking about stag ops, where normally the medic will have. Actually, no, it's not, because usually I'm playing.
I don't know where you're going with this.
At stag ops as a normal squad, your medic will have all those armbands. But as a recon squad, I was like, wait a minute, I have them on both arms when I'm playing. But that's a slightly different story.
Yeah, but I think it'd be an interesting thing to try. Maybe we could try it here.
Yeah.
See how it works on an indoor level.
I mean, we do have that. We do have the medic rule.
Right, we do medic rules where there's a specific
where you have to have, yes, the thing.
But what if we did it, like I said, where anybody could grab his case and go medic something?
Yes.
That'd be an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
See how it works on an indoor level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I damaged my right ear from hiking yesterday. Been having a cold.
Oh, that's bad.
It's messed up.
Rip your ear.
Right? Basically.
Rip
That's
ear.
generally what you do with eardrums when you dance.
Dude, rip ear
Rip eardrums are bad. I've had that before.
That's a good
I
joke.
was diving into my friend's pool and I smacked my head sideways.
Oh.
And the force ruptured the eardrum. And then I didn't realize it. Like I'm like, wow, that hurts. Then I kept going underwater, and water was going into the other side of my ear. You want to talk about like 1 to 10 pain level of scale? That was probably like a 9.5. Just like it was. So little shiver for you guys sitting in your seats at home. That's
Don't do that.
stuff.
Don't be that guy.
Wear your plugs if you have ear damage. Fun little
Wow, that almost feels like it's common sense. Have ear problems, kids?
But I
probably
guess we
should
should probably
protect
talk
them.
about things that maybe aren't the best rules.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, is there any other rules that was one rule?
Yes,
Yeah, we talked
okay.
about one rule that was good.
Was there any others
Well,
that...
I was thinking we could do a sandwich of
Okay.
kind of like a compliment sandwich. We start off little
Okay,
things,
clearly it's-
dive into the bad stuff, then go into the good stuff.
Okay, we clearly
Okay,
had
this isn't
something-
management, bro. This isn't management. Okay, you don't need to tell me. Be like, Chuckles, you did a great job, but you did a shitty job, but you did a good job. So now I feel good, and I'm gonna go take that with me, and I'm gonna go be great somewhere else.
We'll get it next week.
Get what next week? The compliment sandwich or that?
No. We've been trying for the past 4 weeks to not say a bad word on the stream.
Oh.
And every week
Well,
I
yeah,
say,
that's
oh, we'll
kind
get it
of
next
vague.
week.
That's kind of a.
Kid's fault this time.
It's all good though. We'll get it.
It's Gucci.
A week. Not that it really matters, but it's a fun little challenge. Anyways.
So you clearly have a negative rule in mind.
So I don't really have anything specific negative rules. One rule that I do think or feel is vehicles is I should be able to kill you, and however way I please within reason.
Okay.
So I hate
That's
when
a good
people
word.
take their super nice cars, their super nice Jeeps.
Yeah.
And I know that this is kind of breaching off one story that I have, but I've seen it a lot. And you always see these changing rules of engagement when it comes to vehicles.
Right.
Because it's all like, oh, well, this will dent my vehicle. Like, no, if you're going to get an airsoft vehicle, it's just for the same reason why you wear a face mask. You're going to get shot
Okay,
at.
so I would usually completely agree with you. However, Cole did say something during Last Sound Justice that I was like, oh, okay, he has a point.
Okay.
A, those ones that can also break windshields, which is bad, probably could knock out a driver if someone meant to aim for the door and hit the side of the driver's head in like a Jeep or something like that.
Wait, not just like grenades, right? Like regular BBs?
Well, and
you're
no,
talking
no,
about.
I'm talking like,
No,
I would shoot tagging at that thing. Let me shoot a tag.
Well, that's my point. That's my point.
Oh, okay. I
That
thought you were talking
tagging-
about engaging people
it's-
directly.
That tag and hit someone in the side of the head as a driver could disorient them significantly enough to injure someone. to be fair, to be devil's advocate here, and I understand.
No, I actually I see where you're coming from with that. Like normally I'd be like, yeah, screw it, let them. But then I realize like this isn't real.
Right.
Like, obviously it's
like you
real.
got fucking no.
So-
This is definitely a situation where I'm willing to come to the other
Right.
side.
And,
Yeah, so on.
and the other thing he said, where I was like, oh wow, this reorients my viewpoint, is he's like, you know, in the real world, they're not driving little Humvees and Jeeps. We're trying to replicate the power of a tank. We're not going to get a tank to come out here and play, which is why you can't take out a tank with a rifle. Which is why you can't take out the Jeeps with rifles, because it's supposed to replicate a fully armored vehicle.
Well, and I get that, like you can't shoot at the driver, like even with your gun, like
We've always said you should be able to shoot out the gunman.
Yeah.
But like again, it's supposed to be replicated.
gunman, yeah.
It's supposed to be replicating something that you can't take out with a rifle. And that definitely shifted my viewpoint there, where I was like, all right, maybe I get it.
I know, but
Maybe I get it.
still leaves you sitting there like.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It is kind of.
People have adapted well though. Like most people have 18 with them nowadays.
Yeah.
Trained to tank. So
I used to run. I ran Grenadier once.
Yeah, I used to run a grenade launcher, and then I was like, I used this once. And
Yeah,
it
it
was
wasn't
like 5
that great.
pounds
It was
extra.
too much. It's too much extra
Yeah.
weight. You're trying to carry shells and footballs, and you're just like, that's not working. That's not the best.
Yep. Now, if you have a squad, you need at least one person.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got to do it. Whether or not you carry all the shells.
Recon, we can just go, there's someone coming, we're going to go that way.
Yeah, there's 3 of us.
Right.
Alright, 2 friends, let's go
Everyone
out.
else is like,
Or-
hit the deck.
My favorite was with QRF that was attached to the vehicle element this year. Remember the time we were in, was it flak or radar or something like that? We just let the vehicle go by, and we just popped up and worked the QRF squad, and we were like, alright.
That was a good one.
Actually, yeah, what was your opinion of the you know, I know we talked about it a little bit with Patch for the HAX AAR. What was your opinion about having the QRF attached to the vehicle?
So that's an interesting rule. I think it's interesting because that guy, like the QRF is responsible, for those of you who don't know, the QRF is responsible for repairing the vehicle. So they have an extra 40 pounds of gear on one guy. Basically, it's a big plank that you bolt on. There's 5 big bolts that you bolt onto the side of the car, which is how you can medic a vehicle without it, bleeding out in spot and then going back. So I think that it's interesting. I mean,
I like
in
being
the
able
real
to.
world.
I like being able to heal a vehicle. I think that's
Yes.
what I like.
I think it's very cool in the real world. In the real world, you're always going to have someone moving with the vehicle, like unless like in a hot zone like that, you're always going to have troops around.
Because that's what really empowers the vehicle.
But are they allowed to detach from it, or are they like stuck to
They
it?
were like stuck to it,
I don't know
unless
if
the
I
vehicle went out of play.
So
that's
who
what
did that? Was it a
That was
QRF?
Stagline.
Like
QRF.
an actual. I feel like that's weird because I don't feel like that's necessarily what a QRF
I think-
should exactly be doing.
Right.
I think
I mean,
that,
like a QRF should
good
be
reaction
acting
force.
as like they're the guys that you're like, we need you now, go here. Like
So-
it's cool to have that in a vehicle, but like you can go send the technical to do something and your QRF hits someplace.
So
hard.
what if you
attached to
So
it?
how would you modify the rule? What if you said,
I said keep a repairman in the vehicle, and if he wants to go out to repair it, he's absolutely shootable.
Ooh.
Which he is. The guy repairing
That
it is.
Yeah,
so
it's
for
true.
that, but would you? I would say maybe the vehicle can't move unless a squad is moving with it. Only because I understand what was going for the attachment of a squad thing. So it wasn't just this thing that flew around the field, murking people.
You have to wait
Because
for
last,
people.
Spring Offensive was kind of this thing that just, ran one spot of the field, shot some people. It was like guerrilla warfare kind of with vehicles.
Yeah.
It was a bit obnoxious at times.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to create more of a front in this game.
Yes, yes. So I really liked how the vehicles came into play this year. I do feel it felt more realistic. It wasn't just vehicles rolling up on you out of nowhere. They would just roll right through front lines
Yeah.
and not care because they'd be like, hey, if we're going fast enough, no one's going to pull out AT.
Exactly, yeah.
It definitely gave it more, like you said, that front line feel, which I think was great. But like you said, it was a bit weird having a squad not be able to detach from it.
Especially
Yeah.
the QRF, like those are the guys who are like, I need this thing 2
Those
minutes
are
ago.
your those
Right.
are your those are the hard hitters that shouldn't be stuck to a vehicle. I mean, I do agree with having a squad, if they have to deploy, like have a squad move up with them, like that would be cool. But like, not your best guys, you know.
Exactly.
Like you want your heavy hitters to be ready whenever. That's actually a kind of cool rule, like having the mechanic back up. But I guess, the squad would make having a squad attached to it, and then if it's hit and it can't be repaired, just head back to CP and wait for the next available squad to like head up with it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that concept because it avoids that gorilla. Like that happened so many times when what I have played is you just have this rogue, you have rogue technical just light you up, and you're just like, well shit.
So yeah, and we've always discussed how the vehicle rules have been evolving over the last several years, and they are evolving for the better.
Yeah.
So far, they haven't put a rule in where I go, oh, that was the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, they are evolving it for the better. Like I said, with this rule, maybe I was like, right direction, maybe not the best implementation, but
Yeah.
I do like the ever evolving rule set.
Okay. So I'd like to take this opportunity of implementing rules to kind of introduce the idea of classes. And so
Yes.
I was kind of thinking, you know, earlier we were talking, Des and I were talking.
Well, you should say where you got this from.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna. Okay, so.
Cite your sources first.
All right. So Third Coast Airsoft, they're generally about they're like the southeast, like Georgia, Florida. They put out a lot of interesting games. They will normally work with Airsoft junkies. So that's like, you know, I've noticed that a lot of these event runners are kind of now tied to these Airsoft stores. You know, they do a lot of partnership stuff, which is something we might see in the future. But that's just something that I said. But anyways, and so one thing that they're introducing is this SMG class. And before I go into what it is, Des he said, oh well, they're making it just like video games. But I just had this revelation as we're kind of talking about this is.
Hey!
Well,
I changed my opinion once we actually watched the video.
Yes, you did. But one thing that I thought was like, well, geez, are they like grenadier class, medic class, sniper class, recon class? Like there are classes.
Yes.
Just like as there are, you know, like specific disciplines when it comes to.
Oh yeah, of course. And like I said, once you actually showed me the video and I understood more what it meant, I was a little more comfortable with it. A little more receptive to it. Yeah. And what this is if you're into a Milsim game, you know that there's no fall out of windows, no sauce from shooting doors, because sometimes they're even given upped FPS rules, but at the restriction of distance. And so their theory is that, well, you go through a door. I mean, I've watched quite a few, you know, like combat footage videos, and a lot of times they send the soft through first, right?
Just because he can go in and just
wipe
move
through. If they don't have to IFF, they can.
They can just destroy everything in their sights. And so the logic behind the SMG class is that you have decreased FPS rules. They limit you at 300 FPS with a .25.
Which I think should be 250, but continue.
And I think 300 is fair, especially at a Milsim game. You know, there's very much of the mindset of like, if you don't want to get your heat shot out, don't put yourself in a position where you can get your heat shot out.
Yes, but on the same token,
heavily.
But see, on the same token, like 300 FPS, I think it should be the reason they did 300 FPS, they're like, oh, if you get overshot at 300 FPS, it's not a big deal. We have plenty of people who play here at 300 FPS guns, and when they get
get overshot,
people get mad about 200.
You get overshot, still get very angry, and you still see damage from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like 250, if you're going to have like, there's no minimum engagement distance at like 250, like
that's good. And
really.
Let me finish just explaining what it is. Okay. I have to finish explaining it first. So I'm sure if you guys are confused, you may have caught on a bit. But you're limited to 300 FPS, 0 minimum engagement distance, and you can burst through a door shooting full auto. Mm-hmm. So there's no minimum engagement distance. You have this SMG. So obviously they restricted to a true SMG. I'm not going to go into what is defined by an SMG. Most of you will know that. But
we can talk about anything that fires a pistol style, sub-rifle round, a pistol round.
Yes, so a barrel like shorter than, I think, what was it, like 10 inches or something?
Right, but it still can't be a cut down and for it. It has to be a gun designed to shoot pistol style.
Okay, and I didn't watch the full video, so I don't know the specific rules against
they said that from the beginning.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, they literally said those words. But James listens so well, as you've seen every stream.
So you ever have a conversation with me, unless it's me talking about an airsoft gun or something that I know a lot about, I'm pretty bad with conversations.
Yeah, a little bit. But either way, anything like an MP9, MP5, an UMP, anything that fires a 45, 9mm, P90, actually a P90 would still work. P90 would be great SMG to use.
That would be really cool.
That would be the one I'd use because you get still rifle length barrel.
And that's really cool though. Like I think the idea of being able to blast through a door.
Yeah.
And I mean, it can either pay off and be wicked cool, or you can friendly fire a whole squad. You know, because usually you go through and you shoot one guy. I mean, not that I've done this, but you know, you can go through, shoot one guy, and be like, oh wait, these are all my team. But
yeah, James has never friendly fired. I have never been killed by James friendly firing ever.
I've never shot this. I've never shot my own team. You know, yeah.
Oh anyway, I want to get back to what I was saying earlier. Is the reason I would want 200 FPS is because there's somebody that is given this ability to go full auto indoors, which is such a step up and advantageous, right?
Yeah.
I want them to have a significant disadvantage outdoors. If that rule were implemented, I would go Polar Star a SMG and just use that always, because I can still hit people 200 plus feet out with 300 FPS. 250 at that point, you're at a significant disadvantage outdoors.
Yeah.
So a squad needs to balance between. It makes squads balance
that can
between
engage at that
short range, long range, medium range. We're getting to that point
You
where
have
a
people
squad
that
needs to be
balance.
built intelligently and not just, hey, a bunch of guys want to play.
Yeah.
So not like a Battlefield game,
Right.
or it's just a bunch of random.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Kind of like kind of
you-
like Battlefield, because you're not going to use SMGs to snipe kids, and you're like not going to use a sniper rifle to go into a room and clear your
But it's an actual game where bullet drop exists.
Yeah.
AKA not Call of Duty.
I played a little tangent right here. Speaking of games or whatever, I played the World War II beta for Call of Duty, and they did not, or they did an excellent job at trying their very best to let me down, because they absolutely did. I was
heard
so
there's hacker
bored.
wars in it.
Oh really? I was just bored. I was so bored. I'm like, wow, this game is like, it's just.
Well, because this is bored. I was discussing this with my friend Steve on a hike yesterday. This is the big difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield. I finally figured out, because I've always been like, why is one more appealing to one crowd, the other more appealing to the other?
Yeah.
Call of Duty, there's few enough people in the game that it's kind of like when you play a small number indoor airsoft game.
Yeah.
Is you're like, okay, I know there's 4 or 5 people over there, therefore I know this area is clear. And it's all about more single-person strategy and maneuvering.
Yes.
Whereas Battlefield, there's so many people playing that you can't just predict where people are based on where other people are.
There's always so much going on, like you have to continually be.
It depends on the game mode. I found in Conquest, like, you know, if you're
Conquest
inside
is
a
a bit
team.
different, but if you're doing
I love playing Conquest,
Oh,
because that's like what Airsoft is. It's
Right, but
Airsoft
you're
is
attacking,
with
but you still
Conquest.
can't rule out the fact. Like, in Call of Duty, you can very easily know all 8 guys, or however many guys are on a team, are so on and so forth.
Yes, yeah, around this.
Where Battlefield, you can't be like, I'm confident that building's empty because there's other people that are.
No, that's a very good point.
So that's what
I see what you're saying.
It really changes the dynamic of the field. I'm getting really high CPU usage for the stream, okay?
Looks good on my end.
Alright, cool. But and actually, quick tangent here. I came up with a cool game idea for
Video
games. Yes.
Okay.
1 minute tangent here.
As if we already weren't
Yeah,
on
right.
tangent.
You know how you respawn, your character just reappears on the field.
Right.
But AI elements in video games have gotten very good lately, because as the whole technology progresses. What if a game started with 400 people on each side, and maybe only 30 on each side are actual players, the other big amount are AI players, and when you die, you hop into one of those AI characters, and as you lose players, there's less. Like as you start losing the battle, there's less friendlies on your team, and obviously that's a bigger disadvantage.
Oh, that's really similar to.
I'm thinking of Titanfall, maybe.
I'm thinking.
Titanfall has a lot of AI.
Right, but you don't hop into one of those AI characters.
I'm thinking
that's what I'm saying. Like they have AI, but I'm saying like when you die, like an AI guy can die, and if you can have like a bunch of AI guys follow you as a squad, but if you go to a building and get grenaded and they all die, well that's a bunch of points lost for your team, not just one.
Okay. Okay, so that's like kind of like on like a bigger scale, where you're kind of the squad leader of these AIs. and
Right,
you move
exactly.
around.
And if you die, you can hop into a different person in your squad, kind of thing.
That's kind of like.
I'm trying to think of a game because I know
Okay.
that's like it's real close to.
Okay.
Like the Star
Black Ops 2. you have they did that whole
I
like
never played Black Ops 2.
Oh.
One of the lasers.
So, but what they did is it was a weird mini game and no one really liked it. It wasn't very popular. But it was like
was one of the best.
it was like a building, like you had to set up. You were given like a set number of defenses that you could work with. Like you had crawler or whatever the heck it was called. You had squads, like several squads, and you had like one of like the quad rotors with machine guns attached to them. And what you could do is you pretty much have to deploy them. You could deploy them, but you could also take the place of those people. You could tell them where to go. So then you could like, it was so weird. It was like
Commander. It was like third-person strategy games. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, not.
Black Ops 2 is in Call of Duty, right?
Black Ops 2 is in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So you could like, so if you were in the first person, you could swap to somebody else. So you could like go out, you could pick a saw gunner, you could swap to the next person. So you could be either controlling from above, but you could also control from people. Like you could literally
GTA did something like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
GTA.
It was crazy.
Oh, I was gonna say it was probably GTA you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of.
But I don't think you should be able to hot swap. I think once you take a character, you're in that
that's when you're
character
stuck.
until you die, then you go into
Because
another
you could be
character.
like, oh, I'm a dude with a rifle, I need the dude with the saw.
Yeah, no,
so I
exactly.
suck.
Have you played the Battlefield 1 intro?
I was thinking that's the intro is what gave me the idea.
Okay, yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
That was a fun idea.
That's exactly what gave me the idea. But I was imagining like a multiplayer element where you, but like I said, there's literally all the people on the field that are going to be in the game to start with, and so you're not just
So they're all
reappearing.
everybody's kind of fighting. You're
Right.
fighting it out. That's kind of.
And once again, it gives you that element where you can't maneuver around by you know, like, oh, there aren't people
By
here,
just,
I
like,
can
kinda
go in
guessing.
there.
Ah.
Like, there's going to be a front no matter where you go.
Interesting. And I like games that have fronts, like that have like
That's
a
what I'm
simulated
saying,
front.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's really cool, like the way that kind of Gordon does that, kind of tying it back into Airsoft is, you know, you play these games and there could be enemy squad right outside your spawn, but you could be spawn trapping them. Like, you don't really get that at a Snag Ops game. I think it's very cool when you have a visible line of shooting going across.
Yes.
Moving
And that's
across
why I
them.
really liked his beginning of the game pauses. Like, it was just, like, maybe a little too long this time, but
Definitely.
but it developed such a front line.
Yeah.
Like, when that game started, it started.
That was fun.
That was a blast. But, well, returning to the topic, though.
Rules.
Yeah, or, you know, let's look past rules at this point. I think we've,
Maybe classes? Are we still anything more to add on the classes
Or
game?
like, I mean,
well, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of just adding, like you said, it's adding another element that already exists. As a DMR, as a recon element, I can shoot higher FPS, but have a minimum engagement range. As a saw gunner, you can shoot
full auto.
full auto.
But
Yeah, it's
you
just
have-
it's adding
you have
another
your
element. Now, I would certainly put a rounds per second cap on a gun.
Yes.
Is that like an SMG gun? I would
Yeah,
agree.
because then if I was somebody like that, I could swap it to whatever I want, 50
It's
or
also
60 rounds a
stupid.
second.
You're going to go through all your ammo, especially like if this is a Milsim game where you're going to be out in the field for 4 hours and up. You're spewing mags every time you pull the trigger down. For
Yeah,
a
but
second.
that's the thing. It's
But you're not always necessarily going. I mean,
it gives you accuracy over volume when you go into a building. You're in a firefight with a guy, it gives you the ability to go and run up on a kill on a heartbeat. Whereas, you know, it's a little slow. Exactly. So that's my concern. That's, you know, basically what I'm
Milsim
saying.
speed, so.
it's called mill speed, bro.
But
I think
but
it's
yeah, you
irrelevant.
know, I think it's just adding another class. It's an interesting idea. I'd like to see how it evolves.
Yeah, that's really
If
curious.
I go to that game that I don't know where it is, that one picture they posted for 2018.
Right. But like I said, my one caveat would be, like I said, or two caveats would be rate of fire cap, 250 FPS. I want it to be a disadvantage if you're playing outside. That's what I was getting back
Yeah,
to.
it's
Is
mostly
I want you
that.
to build a squad where you have your grenadiers and they're carrying heavier equipment. So like that's a disadvantage for them, but they can take out vehicles. You have your riflemen. Like I would even attach like a DMR element to a squad.
Yeah. Like a rifleman's like a good balance
Minimum
between
engagement.
everybody.
Well,
you know?
sorry, like a long range rifleman.
Yeah.
So you have your minimum engagement range,
Right.
higher FPS allowed. You have your regular riflemen that have, you know, semi-auto fire at 400 FPS, and then you have now your SMG guys that have a lower FPS, full auto indoors. and you have to be much more intelligent about how you use those resources in your squad.
Yeah.
I love the strategy element of Airsoft, and I feel like that adds another deeper level of strategy of actually, like I said, being intelligent of how to build your squad.
Absolutely.
Excuse my coughing, audience. I have a terrible cold.
Terrible code. What are you? You're a bad programmer.
Yeah, my robot code is a little glitchy right now, and leaving me with a cold.
I thought it was beep boop boop bop boop bop.
All the Facebook events like photosynthesis in the Providence Place.
Why is that a thing?
I saw Dan
Why is
today
that
on
a thing?
campus. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, why? I don't know. I'd be interested to know if this is just like a Rhode Island thing, or if it's happening all over the country. But like, there's a lot of events like every day after another. Like with 7,000 people say they're gonna go on Facebook, it's like photosynthesis.
It's just like memes.
Providence Place Mall, like yelling big meaty claws in the food court. It's like, what is? I don't understand that.
I don't
It was
know.
so funny. My favorite is still shouting like Goku in front of Washington Square or Monument or something.
My favorite are
So
the
it's like
Naruto
30
ones.
dudes on a 30 people in a video like this, screaming like Goku, like ah, like they're powering up. Like I'm like, what is happening?
My favorite are the Naruto runs. I'm not bashing the show, but I think it's always hilarious because people actually do show up to that, like hundreds of people, and they're like, they're like go, and then they run for a good like 100 feet, and then they're like,
They realize how impractical it is or out of shape that they are. They're just like, oh man, I thought it was a ninja. I can run forever. It's like, no, trust me. You can't.
All right, returning to some form of Airsoft. All right, we want to move on from rules and to just really cool like scenario type like game elements. Or actually, let's talk a little bit about the indoor space. We've seen a lot of video game things moved into indoor games, things like capture the flag.
I've actually had a few comments about that.
Yeah,
If we don't mind, I'll read them off. So Ben Tran, haven't seen you comment in a while, so what's up, Ben? He says that a cool game mode, attack and defend, but defending has medics, but like two, and if you don't get to them in 30 seconds, the down player are dead, and medics have guns and one life. So I see what you're saying, like it's attack and defend, but with medics.
Right.
By medics, attack and defend. That's a cool idea.
And they have
Actually,
30 seconds
attack and defense is something I wanted to bring up because I think it's a game we can definitely rework here to make a lot more fun as it is.
A lot of people, they hear attack and defend and will automatically not play.
Which I just want one of those fun games.
No, I love attack and
I feel like it's pretty ridiculous because I feel like it's cool, especially when you're attacking.
It's fun on both ends.
That's forcing you to like clear buildings. Like you can get up and sometimes I just hate the safety kill rule because then I'm just like I'm already up really close in your face, like I'm about to shoot you. Like I'm 2 inches away from your face.
But what Ben said, yeah, exactly. And what Ben said, adding a medical, I think could be a lot. So I'd like to keep like almost two versions of a lot of our games. One for like Saturdays where we definitely do more of like the higher speed, running gun gameplay, and Sundays where we try and do a little more serious gameplay. And like adding medical, I think would be great for Sundays.
Or that.
But it's that's actually one game type you don't really see much of video games. That kind of just appears in Airsoft, but I like it.
What, attack and defend?
Yeah. You see in other elements, but like
that's kind of like Rush in a way.
kind of, but we've tried to adapt it to Rush with the whole like you lower a flag to stop the respawn there thing. It didn't work well at all.
Yeah, I don't think we've tried that in a while.
Yeah,
So I don't remember what game it was, but we did a Rush style game where the attackers they had clickers and they counted 75 tickets. I don't think it was 75, but they did something like that.
Well, I also like that as an attack and defend mode, is that the attackers have unlimited respawns and the defenders have a limited number of lives.
I feel like I did that with
We did that with our hops.
Yeah, that was the Japan one. It was
Okay, yeah.
missions.
Yep.
Definitely attack and defend. Yeah, it was attack and defend with clickers. So
Yeah,
the attackers
I thought
had the defenders got like the entire field, and the attackers had 300 lives to get the entire field.
Yep.
That's what it was.
So and stuff like that's what I'm saying. We need to change up the games more often.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And throw those elements in. know, another fun one for attack and defend is have people, because we have the U, have the defenders be in the back bottom of the U and attackers fighting from both sides.
That's right, I did do that. I also did that was the Nuclear, that was the bomb dropping game.
Yep.
The bombs were on both sides of the field. That would definitely be interesting to set up, to do something like that.
I think so.
Definitely use the U to our advantage.
Yeah, right. But either way, was there any other comments you mentioned?
Let's see, there's a zombie mode. So let's see, how about infected? So the person who is infected gets a knife, while the other survivors only use pistols and shotguns.
Here's the question.
Everyone has one thought.
Here's the issue, and we used to run into this years ago. I think it's less of an issue nowadays. Is people are always like, can we play Juggernaut? Can we play Zombie? Can we play? And what the rule we used to make was, if you want to play a game type, you have to be the star of that game type. If you want to play Juggernaut, fine, but you have to be the Juggernaut. Like whoever suggests it. I would say the same for that, is you have to be the guy with the knife when everyone's shooting pistols at you.
Yeah, I remember that was a big thing. I mean, years ago when I came to a couple of your first zombie games, everyone would go to the field for attacking, and then for zombies, they set that one out when they were the zombie characters.
Exactly.
Which isn't the worst. Like, whatever, you're gonna get shot at. Like, this is how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
You get shot at.
We need to do a good zombie game for Halloween.
Yeah.
Ones where we do. Did you ever come to the zombie nights that Booge ran?
Maybe.
He would. We would give everybody spring weapons only, single shot spring weapons.
I never went to those.
Oh yeah, so it was mostly pistols. It was like the Umarax pistols and a couple shotguns, and they had a limited number of rounds and all this kind of stuff. And we cycled through where, however many people showed up was split into 5 groups. And one group would be the people in that round, and the other 4 would be the zombies.
Ooh.
And the people would have, it was based off like Left 4 Dead, like they would have to find an objective,
Ooh.
they would have to find an item on the field. And so they didn't have a respawn or anything like that. They started in one place, zombies started everywhere. They had to make their way through the field trying to find these objectives. They also had a knife where they could hit a zombie with a knife before the zombie touched them. Then the zombie would be stunned for 30 seconds.
That's cool.
So we could do that again for Halloween for sure.
That's pretty cool,
You
actually.
change Pistol Shotgun Night to Zombie Night.
Chat, if you want that, say something.
Yeah,
Because
Or we can
that's
we can
actually
do a
not a
bunch
bad
of,
idea at all.
Yeah, but that
we
way
can do a
don't-
bunch of zombie. I mean, that's perfect because pistols and shotguns. Because most zombie games that you run, you kind of want to run just pistols and shotguns. So
I showed up with
makes
an
sense.
AA-12 and pistol shotgun night.
Shotgun. Semi-auto only though.
We've
Oh,
let
yeah,
people
but I
have.
don't
We've
think
let
that's
people use
ridiculous.
it though. And it's,
That's a bit unbalanced.
it's pretty extra.
At least there's a low FPS. I'm pretty sure it goes higher. You can
Still.
get a lot
Still,
of
you're
everything.
you're indoors. Your minimum, your engagement distances are much closer at that point.
That's
It's
just
Tokyo
funny.
Mario dog.
That's funny.
It's TM. Gotta hop up.
But like, my fucking voice. Have you guys
No.
been to, or have you guys
They have.
any other cool, what do you call it, indoor game types that you want to mention?
Any more indoor game type ideas?
Ideas or ones that you want to mention or things that come to mind? Or, really back to what I was saying, where how video games a lot of times become, everyone want to try Trouble in Terrorist Town, Michael Myers, I think was a video game thing, I don't even know. And
Michael Myers was that was a Modern Warfare 2 thing.
I was about to say,
Michael Myers.
throwback to Michael Myers, my boys that work like private games with their boys at Modern Warfare 2, man, that was a fun time.
But my point is a lot of people like to try and bring video games into Airsoft, which I get, is, the closest to analog. But, what was I going to say? Are there any game types in recent video games that you'd like to see pulled over that might be possible? Like, one of the ones that I love, Headquarters, which is one of my favorite video games.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of just now.
But we tried to make it work, and
Headquarters is at a random point, a certain building or area is considered a headquarters. You have to hold it down, either defend it or attack it.
yes.
And then it just whoever.
And then when the defending team doesn't have respawns, the attacking team does have respawns.
Right.
So, and then whatever team has the most points at the end of the game for time held wins. Here's the issue, is the attacking team this would happen. We tried it a few times and I gave up. The attacking team would inevitably get the bright idea to kill all the defenders but not take the headquarters, so that the rest of the game they would just be sitting there owning the field and not let the game proceed. Yeah, a little bit. Which is why we don't play. Which is why I tried to bring that game to Airsoft and I couldn't make it work without some electronic trickery. Which I wasn't skilled enough to do at the time.
Metroplex, if you get a Juggernaut suit, yes, we will absolutely run Juggernaut.
Yeah, and the rule still basically applies. You go to a rep and you're like, I want to play Juggernaut and I'll be the Juggernaut. They'll probably be like, okay, it's a fun game to rep.
You're just like,
kind of like My Thing game is one of my favorites to rep. Because
they're always hunting. They're like,
and they always look down and you put something in front of their face.
Yeah, it's up top or something.
I just got a comment by Slyer202. Crazy idea, probably dumb, maybe. Let me read it first. How about
What?
I don't screen the comments. I just spit them out. How about Counter Strike? Classic game mode, array of weapons, pistol, and assault rifles. Don't know how armored work. And for the objectives have a flag. So no, that's actually not a stupid idea. So it's kind of, that's what, it's kind of like search and destroy or it's single life bomb plant or hostage rescue.
Yeah, I think elimination games definitely have a place here. And we don't really, again, I think that'd be good for Sundays. Elimination type gameplay.
Yeah. And,
shorter games, like 5-10 minutes, but
exactly.
You don't have much of a rest period in between.
Yeah, so you won't really be able to gain like 8 health and, like you said, armor, but I think it still would be an interesting game to play.
Yeah.
One that I would love to see.
It's all about adapting to Airsoft.
Exactly. One that I actually saw, and I think I may have mentioned this in a previous podcast. So I saw this Norbridge video where you guys were playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Mm-hmm. The idea is it is you get parachuted onto an island, and at that point. You have nothing. You have no weapons, armor.
You're right. We should rent a C-130 and throw people into Hawaii and say,
"Go!" Exactly. Be free. So the idea is it's an open world. It's an open world shooters arena, and the playing area slowly. It's a circle. So the playing circle slowly will close at random intervals. It won't. It's not a slow thing, but what it changes it is. But the circle changes and it's random.
Yes.
You can't predict it. And the idea is, you get geared up based on stuff you find in houses. And I saw this Norbridge video where, you really gotta trust the people you're playing with.
Yeah, it can't.
It's where they put grenades on the ground, pistols, rifles with ammo next to them, and they would start at random parts of the field, or at one part of the field, like in the center, run out, collect these firearms, and at that point, the second that they start running, the game is on. And so, you pick up a pistol, you go hunt for a guy, you shoot a guy. He drops everything he has, you pick up his rifle, then you go hunt, and then you play it like that.
That's where it'd be fun where, as a store like us could sponsor something like that, but do it with things like, you have to do it with, cheap spring shotguns and
exactly,
pistols.
Yeah.
But it could still be a lot of fun, again, adapting it to the Airsoft world.
I think that would be cool, and it was an outdoor field to be fair, but I think it would be really cool to see it maybe ported to an indoor field.
Yeah.
It had to be a very low player game, but...
Yeah, and then it's good for, the end of the night, beginning of the day.
Okay, you guys want to play some PUBG?
Right?
I always thought, what was it? Airsoft GI did the Hunger Games. I always thought that was cool, where you didn't know what you were picking up, if your rifle had ammo in it or not, or if the battery was dead or anything.
Right.
There was so much left to chance that it was even just watching it, I was like, oh, that was always super cool. So a Hunger Games, where they're all hitting around the field, they all start in the center, and then they just book it. And they're just running, and they just don't know. You can just run the whole time running around and not knowing where anything is.
And actually similar is, a way to adapt to that is Airsoft to that without having to trust people with your guns. Is you have your gun on you, that's that, but you have, maybe little cardboard boxes, and they could have 6 rounds in them, they could have 50 rounds in them. And same thing, if you're running to the center, you grab one, you run away, and you might open it up and go, oh, I have 2 shots, crap. Or
speed loaders, but they have a certain amount of EVs.
Some
speed loader, maybe if you find a quota and you're lucking out.
Yeah, right. But that's a way to adapt to these games like PUBG and Hunger Game type things without having to trust people with stuff that's not theirs or stuff that's yours. Where everyone has their own equipment, but you control the game with ammo quantity, or maybe there's a can of green gas.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like calibers. You know, you don't have to search for 45.
Right, exactly,
You
exactly.
just have to search for BBs. Just the only thing is, you know, if you have a nicer gun, then once you get BBs, you definitely have an advantage as opposed to someone
You mean
that has
just like if you found a 416 in PUBG? Or
well, exactly, but that's by chance. You know, you'll find a lot of Uzis, but maybe you'll find a nice.
Well, that's the thing is like, you know, even if I had my gun with 4 rounds, I'm not going to be doing much with it.
Yeah. I still think that's a very good way to port that into.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't. Again,
it'll never be perfect.
We have limited realistic capabilities here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a couple more minutes before I want to get to the whole hydration carrier conversation. It does work as a hydration carrier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It has a tube coming out.
Okay. I wanted to double check that.
It has a nipple on the end that you can suck liquid from.
Good. That's what I look for.
Yeah. Reminds me of being a kid.
But what was I saying? Are there any other game types? Are there any other examples of that, either in the comments or you can think of yourselves?
Charles just had something. I would like to see the Hidden Treasures game mode played more. X amount of hidden items on the field, and the field that finds find stuff. Okay, so the game find stuff. You have a much more interesting name for it. We simply call it find stuff.
I call it lost and found.
Okay, I call it find stuff.
Or hidden.
I think I usually just call it ammo grab.
Yeah, we literally, so funny, the story of this game is that this was back when me and Adam Bowen were field managers. And we had a much smaller repertoire of games to play with, less props, things like that. And I was like, it was like a small crowd, and I was like, what's something we can do that's just different? I had gotten used to trying to find the props at the end of the day after a day of gaming. I'm like, you know what? I'll make the players look for stuff. And I hit a bunch of stuff. Literally, we didn't ever come up with a title. It's been 4 years since then, and we still don't have an official title for this game. We just call it Find Stuff, Hidden.
I think a lot of the refs have started calling it. It's like, ooh, let's play Find Stuff. Find Stuff it is. That's what they just call it now.
Exactly. It is a fun game though, because you have to concentrate while also.
Right. And you got to snatch and grab, and then it's like, hope the enemies don't have more stuff. And if you can't find stuff, you better be making it toward their end of the field.
I liked it with the papers that we did for your objects.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and how like you were able to hide them everywhere.
Hide them, but they're always in plain sight.
Oh yeah, they're always in plain sight, but some of them were just like
remember,
hidden.
there was one that you didn't see it. There was one in one of the soffits in the buildings, and I literally folded it just enough that it would go up and like click into the soffit. So it was just straight. Someone glanced up, like piece of paper right in front of their face, but it just held itself in place. And great. I see you typing away. Is anything?
It was just a question about HBA.
Always
filling up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always HBA questions. We need to do another HBA stream soon.
You do. I need to get those Reapers in and like a Daytona gun or something.
Okay.
No!
No
Daytona gun.
Let's
all the Daytona
start
guns.
our conversation about, in my opinion, something awesome. So, these are the core performance, core spelled really weird.
Core with a Q.
What do you call them? Plate inserts, hydration carrier inserts, for people that don't necessarily need bulletproofness, but they don't want the bulkiness of hydration carrier. I think it's a fantastic idea. Now, the idea of it cooling you down and warming you up, less so what interests me. What interests me is a super low profile way of carrying water while also still adding the rigidity of the vest, a comfortable weight, spreading that mass not just on your back, but front and back. And the water content will pull the thermal energy away from your body faster than fabric that isn't very breathable.
Okay, so I do agree with you. I do think it's really cool, the idea as a hydration.
That's the main reason I like it.
As a bladder. That's cool. But here's how I see it. You're not always running, and you're not you're not always running. You're not always like balls to the wall sweating. And then, so what I'm getting at is this.
I don't know what I'm getting at this point.
So you can freeze those, right? You can freeze those. It takes like
say
4 to 6
we're
hours.
going to go play Gravedigger at RBC, and it's an event in the middle of August when it's almost 100 degrees. So when you say freezing them is great. If you're going to play a game in the middle of winter, when you say putting hot water in there is good.
So freezing them would be good, but here's my reservations. So I don't like the varying temperatures. That makes me like, I'm not, like I can deal with it, but like this is what I'm getting at, right? So you have this super cold thing on your body. You have this super cold thing on your body, and then you stop moving. You're holding down an objective. You start to like freeze, right? It gets really cold. It gets super cold.
Now, why do you think it would make you so cold if it had already, if it was still frozen at the beginning of the day? We both agree that it's not going to stay frozen very long.
Yes.
Right? We both agree with that.
Yes.
So at the beginning of the day, you're probably going to be more active. At the beginning of an airsoft event.
I guess.
And then by the time you start slowing down in an airsoft event, it's probably not frozen anymore. And what are the reviews on
Shut up, let me come up with a comeback to that one.
And also, if there's weight, so it holds liquid,
Yeah.
but then
I'm actually not sure how much it holds. Let me look into that
if
one.
it holds something, if it's like a significant difference from like what, because then you're never used to whatever you're wearing. Because if you keep drinking the water, it's going to weigh less and less. So you're not used to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's still like the shape and everything.
But on the same,
It's still the same weight though. I don't
right,
know.
but on the same token, if you have a hydration carrier, so the nice thing is you're removing weight front and back at the
Well,
same rate.
yeah.
You have a hydration carrier, you're only removing weight from your
That's
back.
true.
And it holds 50 ounces of water per plate. It can take out 70 watts of body heat per plate.
But then, in the middle of the summer, when it gets really hot,
12 ounces.
like when the plate itself gets really hot, and then
Right, but it's
then it's just heat. There's just more heat on your body.
no, but that's my point. Is it's not going to heat up higher than your body temperature.
Well, it's not helping your body temperature go down.
It would, because that's the thermal capacity of water. Is better than fabric. It works like a big battery that sucks.
Is it like a radiator? Like it helps disperse
It would.
that
The
heat
top
too?
surface would as well. Yeah, no worse than.
I guess I need to take
regular.
heat mass transfer.
Yeah, a little bit.
I guess I need to take that class before I can really have a strong argument, because this kid already has. So he already knows what's good about that.
So like the thing is, it would help equal. Actually, a returning argument about getting cold when you sit still, it would help equalize your body heat from active to not active, because it's going to get to a temperature and kind of hold your body there. Okay, each side holds 1.47 liters. So together, it's a 3-liter bladder, which is more than a usual bladder.
No, that is. Yeah.
I think that's per side. It's not exactly the clearest.
Yeah, because then you don't have to wear a full size. Like I used to do the 3-liter bladder. That thing is pretty.
Yeah, my bladder broke for Autumn Justice.
Of course,
I pulled it out
everything broke.
I pulled it out of my backpack and I filled it up with water and I put it in my plate carrier. It's all good. Then my back started like getting real wet before the game. I'm like, geez, I'm sweating already. And then it started to like drip.
I remember that.
I was like, wow, I'm not dripping. Like I'm not sweating. Like did I not clip in
Well, that's cool.
the hose?
Have a little QD attachment.
Yeah.
Have one hose and just go from your front to your back.
Hell yeah. And then I realized that there was a hole in my hydration carrier, so I had to carry a water bottle on me.
Bro,
Like,
that happened to me in Concrete
Oh, look, they
City.
have your favorite color, red.
Yes. Did you see the new ATAX Ghost camo?
What?
The new ATAX
I'll look it
gray?
up in a second. But
Did you see
hold
that?
on, I'll look it up in a
Ooh.
second. But let's talk about the price real quick. Let's talk about the price. $64 with the QD and the hose, or you get this one for $54. So you can either have 2 hoses. So if you do the standard one, it's $44. So you can have 2 hoses coming up, and you pick which one you want to drink out of. Or you have 1 hose coming up, and when one's empty, you QD into the second. Which would you do?
I would do the 2 QD. Simply because, I mean, obviously your 12 should have like shit on them.
2
like
hose
water
or
on
2
them.
QD?
2 hoses. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hoses.
I would do 2 hoses as well. Yep.
And then, like, what's the big deal about riding another hose? You just hide it, and then when you're ready, you just pull
well,
it out.
and you can kind of be like, some water from the front, some water from the back, some water, and it stays
Yeah.
balanced. I would do that's also the cheapest option. So $88 for a 3-liter, but you don't need a backpack that sticks out from the water anymore.
That's true.
And if you're not someone who runs HPA, that means no backpack anymore. Like, that's a much more low-profile system overall.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the price? I think that's like.
I think that's a fair
I think
price.
it butters it.
I mean, it's a little on the higher end, but then again, it is, it has some science behind
Well,
it. It's not
like,
just some
what's a
random thing.
high-quality backpack and like a Camelback costs you $60 to $80.
Oh yeah. A bladder will cost you 20, which is why I'm like, it's a little on the upper end.
Right, but that's also.
But assuming you already have a backpack to put it in.
Right, exactly. So I'm saying a Camelback could be $130. So.
Yeah, or you could just come to Extreme and get one of the Condor backpacks with 1.5 liter for what, like $35?
Yeah. I mean, you've seen the backpack I've been using. That's gone through Tough Mudders. It's been through hiking. It's been through biking.
And then it got shot by
how many airsoft games? Yeah, the clips broke, but overall the backpack.
Oh, okay.
The backpack's 6 years old now, and I use it for every single thing that I do. I think that was Voodoo for that.
Maybe Rocco. But look
either way.
up ATAX
Okay.
Ghost. Look up ATAX Ghost.
ATAX Dense. Right, that's what you mean?
Yes. ATAX Dense.
Speaking of which, there was once again no pictures of me freaking Auto Justice.
You know, I always get salty because there's never pictures of me, but then I realize it's because I'm doing some real gangster stuff.
I know, but come on. It's every time.
Yeah. But check it out though. Show the streamers.
I'm working on it. I think they should have it right now. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So, what, you blend into
So it
like
is
the 60s really well?
It is. So yes, it is airman. It is the airman stripe camo. Like it is the United States Air Force camo, but not digital, just smudged.
Oh, that's
it's smudged airman camo.
Right.
But it is cool.
But
it is really cool. It's
like what? Okay, what is it designed to blend in with? That's my confusion.
Rocks.
Well, it's law enforcement.
Okay.
So it's urban.
Look how well I can barely see them. They're basically floating guns in this picture.
But they already have the
Brutal, bro.
ATAX.
You don't even know.
ATAX black. They already have that. What do they call it?
I've not seen a picture where someone blend. Oh look, ATAX FG. That works well.
So they have.
That's too fair.
They have ATAX LE, and they also have ATAX. Or is ATAX LE ATAX Ghost? I'm a little confused.
ATAX LE's a little blue.
Okay, I have to point this picture out.
What? He looks operator as hell.
Yeah, but like
he's a straight thug.
So my point is, I'm sure this is supposed to replicate the Navy camo, so that when you fall in the water, no one can rescue you.
Wait, which one is that? LE or just Ghost?
LE.
That's LE. Yeah, the blue or
Like I never understood that with the Navy camouflage. Like you're only hidden if you're in the water where you want to be rescued.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a really long weekend.
Apparently it did.
I had 4
That's a
tests
nice
in
one.
the past 2 days, and I had a project due yesterday.
I've got my first MC 301 exam tomorrow.
I worked so much this
Or not
weekend.
tomorrow, next Tuesday. Tomorrow I have a career fair, so.
I was up to like 3 on Sunday night doing homework, and then I woke up at 5
Okay.
to do that homework again. So I'm drained right now.
Fair enough.
My bad, homies. All the homies out there.
But
that's just the price of being a straight hustler, you know?
so
I'm balling.
well, but real quick, final consensus on this. Would you be willing?
I never run one.
Would you be willing to try it?
I'd be willing to try it, yes.
I'd give it a shot.
Yes, I'd be willing to try it.
I would like to be able to ditch the water pouch.
$80 for an experiment.
James, don't even start.
What?
Now, $80 for an experiment is too much.
What? What do you mean?
I mean, American PTO.
That was an experiment. I was told it was fantastic.
Totally, yeah. What are the reviews on this? Can you enlighten me on how the reviews on this product have been?
Overall positive. One could say.
One
could say.
like almost entirely positive. Wait. I think I've come to hear I'm on the wrong screen. I think if I come to here, we can see it has a 5-star rating.
You're rounding up, bro, because that's a 4.9.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Right.
snap! Wow. Game changer right there.
We're rounding up to single places. What I could just round down to, actually no, that's not how rounding works.
James the engineer, everyone.
I've been really low this semester. I've had the only exams I've had, I've got 90s and up. It's not how you round down. Sorry. Hey, fluid mechanics, you got an 18 out of 20. Class average was like a 60.
So you got an 18 with class average of 60.
Alright, I got a 90 with a class average was a 60. Dog, you guys suck, bruh.
You said it, not me.
I said it, yes, but you just have to be a stickler for the facts and the other things that are concrete and make up a conversation.
He just has to be picky about, facts.
Yeah.
Alternative facts. Alternative facts, boys and girls. No, I choose to look at a different part of that fact.
Dog, you're killing me.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Do we want to return back to our previous conversation?
What, rounding up and down?
No.
We're past that.
What, ATAX?
No, the whole gaming scenario thing.
Oh, that conversation.
No, the title
Jeez,
of
we're-
the stream.
Okay, alright, geez, we're going way back.
What more do you want to talk about ATAX FG? Fine.
Game
Let's see.
scenarios.
How it
Well, I don't know,
everything, but did you like it because it's Greg? Tell me
No.
I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong right now.
No, I don't like it just because it's gray. How shallow do you think I am?
I don't know. I've seen your gun.
Which one, my real one? You mean all the gray on my real one?
Yeah.
And then the gray grip on my PTW? And then the gray plate carrier?
Yeah.
I thought that was right here.
Something
Right.
makes me.
Well, I'm gonna get a gray one, but
That's what I thought,
I have
liar.
gray all over
I've
it.
got a great
I
meeting
thought you
now.
called him Flyer at first. I'm like,
Flyer.
whoa.
Yeah, but it is like
Flyer.
ATAX, Tiger Stripe, bull crap.
I was so mad
Jake.
he didn't match.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
So-
I love he showed up. We're like, Jake. He's like, whoops.
For once, it wasn't me. I was so happy.
No, I called
I
you.
was so
I
happy.
called you Jake and Jake James literally all weekend. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I just started calling him that.
Oh wait, geez, hang on.
Oh, actually,
See, I meant over their bickering of the carrier's worth it. Yeah, their romance is at the snarky phase. Jeez.
but to
Facts.
know,
Alternative facts.
if you guys want to watch, if you guys would like to check out the water plate carrier thing, let us know, and I think you'd be good.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can definitely get those in.
Yeah.
I'll bring in maybe 4 sets or so,
Yeah.
just to try them out.
If it's something you guys would like to run, I mean, if you bring them in, I'll probably buy one just to technically just to try it
Yeah.
out. I mean, right? Let's be honest. Don't we all have fake plates on our vests right now?
Sure.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna get real ones, but I always just the
They're
price
so
tag.
heavy,
It's
and
like,
they're heavy and expensive.
And
they don't
impractical.
offer
it's like,
anything.
when will
It's just some practical,
When
you know,
will I
like-
ever need it? Like real
Never.
plates?
Right.
Never.
Never.
Not yet.
Like,
Like I said, I like the idea of
plates.
taking that space and making it useful.
Yeah. And Charles, I'm not taking the Tiger Stripe name in vain. This is the story behind that. Des and I were all matchy super
So,
cute.
well, start. Me and Jake have been wearing ATAC for the last 4 years.
ATAX FG.
ATAX
The smudge
FG.
stuff. The came on Star Wars came.
Yes, we've been wearing that for the last 4
Yes.
years, and we'd always match. And then, and we'd always have a third recon guy who just didn't match us at all. And I was saying to James before we left, I was like, oh, this is sick. We're gonna have 3 guys wearing ATAX FG. We're gonna look like a baller squad, a baller recon team moving. We show up, and Jake's wearing.
Jake's wearing this ATAX Tiger Stripe stuff.
Wait, what? What? ATAX, Tiger
I don't know.
Stripe?
It was definitely just some Emerson knockoff
Yeah.
camo pattern. But we were all super salty. We're just
We're like,
we were
Jake,
so close.
Jake, what the heck?
We were so close to being the next level of operator, but it's all good.
It is.
It's
But-
all good.
Okay.
Anyways, so I guess we're going back to the
Yes.
game mode idea.
Yeah, so let's talk about scenarios in terms of storylines and stuff like that. Now, I would say for example, IROPS generally has the most complicated storylines of any game I've been to.
Yes.
Yes. More
Do
complicated.
you think that is, and I know it's because Cole just loves it, genuinely likes writing the story. Now, do you think that adds a lot of value to the game, or there's like I think like the MSATO storyline seemed a lot simpler.
MSATO is pretty, for the most part, a lot of their stuff's really just straightforward. It's like, all right, this is this. Oh, it got complicated because now there's a scientist or something. Now you need to negotiate.
Right, but it's still pretty simple.
It's still simple, yeah.
And what kind of exposure have you seen as a player to those storylines?
Well, it is always interesting. It's interesting. You know, I've never been one for really diving into the whole role playing and interacting with those characters. Usually, it's just you're not my objective, go away. But maybe. But you know, I've been in situations where I have been forced. No, I've been in situations where I've been forced to deal with them. Like I can't just walk away. Like I have to deal with you. And sadly, I wish I was Kurt Tapp. I was just a level of just go away, boom, you're dead now. Stop talking, please.
Or APOC.
Yeah, or APOC.
Grenade.
Yeah, exactly. But it definitely is interesting. Like if you actually are read up on the information, like can you understand like why these characters are doing what they're doing? It is kind of interesting, and you know it's always fun just kind of troll them, just like you know torture them, and like they just be like like you know your leader's stupid, and just you know but not as boring and like pleb tier trolling as that. But you know what I'm saying. Just mess with them because they are actors. I think I'm like the worst kind of person, but I do like the spooky Halloween rides, and I like to mess with the actors. Like it. I'm like twiddling their stuff. I'm one of those. I don't get invited to go to hay rides very often. Anyways, moving forward with that. But having the storyline is always very interesting because you know having like the political side of things, like the economical. That's one thing that you really don't see with these other games. Like yes, there are ways to mimic that. Like the political just adds a second objective, really. Like you have these. Yes, yeah, it's like you know an additional objective that can just be replicated by just another go capture this thing because that's truly what it is. Go capture this. Different things have different values, and you can do that with also. But it is kind of interesting in a way that you know it's more realistic almost. Like
So I think it also adds a lot of IFF control and stuff like that. Like you can't shoot the civilians, or with the latest series of Justice for Defensive, like the whole UN, you can't have guns up, which we ran into a couple times.
That is interesting. Yeah, like you know, different zones require different ways to act.
Yes.
Which you'd absolutely will see, you know, in the real world.
And it really did have the element of like, you know, those times when you ran into people and you're like, you didn't know how to engage them. You didn't know if you were better to let them pass. You didn't know if you're better to shoot at them. You know if you're better to ask for their help. And it adds a little bit of, I think, realism there because in the real world, you go to Iraq and you know some guy's standing there and you don't know with a cell phone, you don't know if he's going to try and blow you up, or you don't know if he's calling for your help.
That is very true because that's one thing. You know, when the Iraqi war started, well, when we went to a war with Iraq, is like it wasn't your conventional warfare, where you just have two armies and they're just duking it out. These are like they use kids and stuff like that. You know, that's something that you don't expect, and it's a different level. And I think it's a very good point that you brought up, and that kind of Gordon has done a very good job bringing up. Is you don't know because
a lot of times you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The enemies are disguised as your common day man, and there are in this specific game there are just everyday civilians, but there are terrorists or you know whatever faction they are dressed as civilians that can absolutely do bring pain like that. So it definitely does add another level that you won't get with your conventional go get them kind of game.
Exactly.
And I love the go get them.
I love the go get them games, but it is kind of fun, and that's why I've always been such a fan of the seasonal violence series. It's just like I said, it always feels a little more immersive than other games in my experience. A little more like you're part of something bigger. Where like even when I went to MSATO with you guys, it was an absolute blast. Don't get me wrong, but it really did feel like we showed up to just a big team deathmatch that lasted a few hours.
Yeah, I mean you get on that command net and you can do some other spooky stuff, but it is
for the most part like it didn't feel, it was very, the complexity was much less significant compared to honestly I think Autumn Justice, the seasonal violence games are very underrated.
Oh yeah,
and there's a reason that they have this is the first time it's been sold out in years.
Yeah, it's a specific kind of game.
Yeah, yeah. So I like it. I'm a fan of like the more complexity added to the games. Even if as Recon, we had almost no exposure to the storyline.
Yeah.
Like very, very limited, other than being
that's like the one thing is like for the most part you really miss out on a lot of the story. Like you can read it, but then you don't know what's happening. Then suddenly you go back to CP, you're like, oh my god, this happened. I'm like, how did I miss all of this stuff?
Right.
Like,
And that is where it's a little more fun being on command net. I'll be honest.
You could be like, oh, I can hear what's happening. But other than that, I was just like, anytime I went, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I guess I missed a cool story.
Right. Well, and that's where the Frago, I think that's why Cole does the Fragos as well.
Right.
And why he doesn't let one squad do all the Fragos.
Everyone gets their shot.
Because the Fragos are the direct, they're the direct exposure to the storylines.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Like, in the game, we told the stories like, oh yeah, we set up this little car crash, we put the vehicles there, we had people out and about and on the ground, and Group 4 just rolled through, killed everyone, and ignored it.
Yes. Good job. I'm proud of everyone.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you guys want to add? We've got
really
8 minutes left.
Scenario.
Or any other?
I'd always like to do like a Millstone. I'd like to do like a more serious, like I think a Black Hawk Down style like event, like an event hold like based on that. Like you have the small squad that's like holding off against a massive OPFOR, and so then you have to fight. You're already engaged, but then you have to break through the engagement, and you have to get there and actually like save the pilots. Like I think that would be so cool. Like actual Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, oh, we're playing Black Hawk Down.
Right.
It's pretty much attack and defend, but not attack and defend.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's fair.
I think that'd be cool because then you'd have to break through. It's I don't know. It's a lot of like.
It'd be complex to set that game up.
Yeah, exactly. To set that up where it wouldn't like totally
It'd have to be an outdoor field for sure.
It'd have to be an outdoor field for sure. And you'd have to set it up in a way that it wouldn't totally kill the dudes in the helicopters in the first 5 minutes.
Right, and that's the hard
like
part.
Set them up in like a decent enough spread of an area that they have to like break through. But I think like an outdoor game, not like a Milsim event, but like just a game to try to have to push through.
Yeah.
Force on force here, and then boom, bada bing, you have to engage them, and then blah blah blah.
I love looking at, James knows my favorite kind of airsoft games are replicating real life events as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like I've done the Battle of Saigon series, I did the Battle of Berlin, I did, what's another one? I did another one.
Wasn't it the Black and White game?
No, Black Steel is a different series altogether. There was another historic battle that I did. I don't remember what it was. We should do another. There's always
The Battle of the Village.
What?
And did you do the Battle of the
Wasn't
Village?
Ghost of the 38?
That was a little too
North Korean? Ghost of the 38? Was that you or no?
I think that was me. Yes, that was me. Yes, that was a fun one.
I remember that one.
I remember that was one of my favorite titles. I remember that now because it wasn't just like Battle of Berlin.
It was like something you.
Because you get the Ghost of 38, right? The 38 parallel is the division between the two countries.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
that's
supposed
the
to be
DMZ.
like special ops forces between the two.
Some real spooky stuff.
So I liked that title quite a bit. I think that was actually, to be fair, I think Vinny may have helped come up with that title. To give him credit.
That one always just sticks out in my head. Like I think back, like all the events, I'm like, Ghost of the 38. It was just such a cool. It was just a badass title.
Yeah, there's been some good games in the past. But yeah, anything before we do our wrap up? Anything in the comments or anything worth mentioning?
Let's see. Charles said that's my horse. Capture the objective and keep it on your team's designated building, trainer laundry, think reserve, reverse bomb plant. Yeah, I mean we've done a few games like that before, but yeah, it's single flag capture the flag. I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
And then you have to just have to hold the flag at a certain objective, which is definitely something we can introduce. Nothing wrong with that.
What was I gonna say? Sorry, someone just said to me something very funny. What is your while. Maybe one that was based on an op only, but nonetheless.
My favorite indoor game type. It's gotta be capture the flag. I love capture the flag. It's just so fun.
Really?
So yeah, it's so hard to push up, and then once you're running back, you have your back exposed to the enemy team. I think that it's always a rush. I love to play capture the flag. That or definitely something medic based.
See, I don't like medic based indoors. I think that creates issues.
Yeah, medic.
Because all the aggressive players get stuck because the medic won't come up and heal them. Which is why that whole medic box thing could actually really change the game.
Yeah.
We should try that. We should genuinely we should try that.
Yeah, I can explore it.
I kind of like when we do events sometimes, and it's you have you have to grab all of the cases, but it's a guessing game. You have to figure out whichever one the bomb's in, and you have to decipher a bunch of stuff, or like figure out a combination or something. I like that. I thought it was cool when at the Battle of Berlin, I like the German teams were in the corner and they had to hold off. And it was just a massive firefight with Russia and the USA. Like, I love that. That was amazing. You had to hold it.
Oh, that one.
That one?
My God.
It was
that was the best.
You had to hold out for 40, 45 minutes. I was like, that is a crazy. Everyone's like running out of ammo.
Well, that was part of it. That's why I made it so long. That's how they lost battle. That's how Berlin fell. Is that the Russians and Americans cut off Berlin and they literally ran out of supplies, and that's how they fell. And that was the whole point of making that mission so long. Is they had to balance supplies. If I remember correctly, they managed to hold out, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like right at the right at the end. We just got
it was right at the end, but they held out for a crazy amount of time, way longer than I expected.
I loved playing that. I was on the Germans, so I was just like, we're running out.
I really loved watching that.
So I like that. We'll have to.
Right? I like those more complexity. Probably my favorite, admittedly, one I've written, and I haven't played it personally, but it was a lot of fun to watch, and I got a lot of good feedback for it, is that there was 5 crates placed in 5 different spots on the field, different buildings, all middle-ish, but certainly some bias towards the other, one or the other. And one team was given 6 combinations. And they had to, obviously one was fake, 5 were right.
Right.
And they couldn't move the crate, but they had to get into the building, unlock the crate, and take the supplies out of it. So the easy way to win the game is just get control of one building at a time. Right. But obviously with 5 buildings, you have to make sure you manage your time appropriately.
Right.
So I think the team ended up trying to do like 2 or 3 buildings at once and could never get enough control to go through all different combinations to find the one that works. And again, communication makes it an easy win. You go, oh, this was the right combination for this safe. Well, axe that off the list for the other ones. But it was really cool to watch, and I'd like to run it again at some point.
That'd be something.
It was interesting. Because like I said, it's one of those things where if played with strategy, should be a very easy win for the attacking team with combinations.
Yeah.
However, without enough strategy, it's an easy win for the other team.
Oh yeah, super
So
easy.
it really makes you have to think about it. But I think it's that time.
Wrap up.
So
Time of the month?
well, is it James? No.
I don't want to talk about it. It hasn't come yet, and it's 3 weeks late, and it's off to.
But all right. So
I'm glad you missed that. I'm glad you missed that.
I'm going to definitely. I saw it. Don't you?
Oh, okay, good, awesome.
Don't you worry. I saw it.
I didn't even realize what I was setting myself up for.
I shoot so bad. I just chose to ignore it.
That was lit. Okay.
No,
So-
female.
He's acting like he was always the alpha in this relationship. Boy.
Big boy.
He's like that kid that's like, but I am the toughest kid. And it's like a narrator on his life. He was like, he was most certainly not.
So I'll let you guys
talk
wrap up.
about stuff and things. So then, remember, our weekend of fun, 3rd weekend of every month. Friday night, pistol shotgun night. Not this Friday. I just wanted to double check. that it is.
You guys are so prepared every week.
I know. The 20th and the 21st. So the 20th is Pistol Shotgun Night. Pistol Shotguns only. Be ready. Probably do some different game modes that night just for, it's Halloween. So we gotta do something cool for y'all homies out there. 21st, Adult Night, 6 p.m. to midnight. You're gonna have gaming. It's $20 if you show up just then. It's $35 if you want to play all day. So 11 a.m. to midnight. You're gonna play. $35.
I think gaming went till actually midnight.
It actually went. We actually played every game. We ran until midnight.
Awesome.
So people made it this time. So that's always a good time. 400 FPS. No safety kills. Just a higher level of gameplay. We're gonna try to run more complex games. So definitely make it out to that if you can't make it out to Pistol Shotgun. If you can make it out to both, that'd be great. And then we're gonna do on that Saturday we do lunch, we do dinner, and then we do like a late dinner. We serve it at like 9.
Oh really? That's cool.
Yeah. So that's a lot. Yeah, it's an interestingly popular option. So that's just something. Make sure you guys are getting ready for that. October 29th. Make sure you pre-register. Off Transylvanian Terror. Isaiah's going to be running the DC Heroes, and I'm going to be running Dracula's Legion. I'm going to be Dracula, so I hope you're ready for some fun. Isaiah's writing up some pretty cool missions I've been watching. Make sure you guys come in a costume. We're going to have a costume contest judged by the staff. There'll be a prize at the end of the day. You just got to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. Maybe we'll have treats or something. Like we'll hand out candy. But yeah,
Pull up my white man too.
Pull up in the white man.
Actually,
Extreme.
white might with his
right.
wide gins. No, but
So there's that. You have those things to look forward to. Yeah, this week's video
we're
gonna be. It's another extreme theory. It's accessorizing your gun, like do's and don'ts. What's practical? What's not?
awesome, cool.
So
Looking
it's gonna be
forward to it.
cool. We're gonna be talking about stuff and things. So enjoy stuff and things.
Look forward to stuff and things.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be here next week, episode 37. We'll hopefully actually release the topic before and come up with a topic
Correct.
for like 10 minutes before the stream.
Hey, honestly, this was a great stream. I had a great time.
Oh, I did, but like,
yeah, I
maybe a little more prep would be good.
No, always.
But I'll see you guys next week. And thank you for joining.
Bye guys.
and
Thank you so
have a good
much.
weekend.
Peace out. See you this weekend.